All right, what's up, world? It's the iPod. We got a special guest today.
Come on, get out, Chris.
It's your boy Ed. I'm here.
Yeah, I'm bad.
Once in a year, lifetime or a year, every year.
Man, we just hit a rocket. I didn't cough as much as I did on that.
What's a rocket, Chris?
A rocket was a giant joint.
How many grams are in that thing?
16.
Damn.
17.
Four different strains.
Four different strains. It was Turbo Mind Warp, Snowcap, Chronic, and Blackjack.
Yeah, and we're saying it because we can't put all that in the episode. A lot of typing there.
Yeah.
And right now, what's that right there?
So we'll call it the post rocket. I don't know.
This is a mini version of what is this? Blackjack.
Blackjack. And yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking. We're up there.
Yeah, we're up there, man. We're in space. And hey, let's talk about a case.
Oh, yeah.
Does that rhyme?
Ooh, I like that.
All right, talk about a case. So we're talking about a case because Romo and I have been taking a class on trials and throughout history. Trials as in, like, you know, the courtroom and shit. And the one that I want to talk about that I have not been able to get out of my head is a case involving a man named Ed Johnson. Oh, I'm talking to you to do that.
I'm sorry.
All right. Ed Johnson was a man that was falsely accused of rape. All right.
Dang.
Some woman in some town got raped, and there was obviously a big hullabaloo.
Was it a white woman?
Yes, it was. It was a white woman, and anyhow, some white man just decided to point out that I saw that black guy walking around. And
Probably just jealous, swag or something.
And some people think that's the white guy that actually did the raping in the first place.
Right.
So anyhow, so they round up the black guy just because back then, if you say a black guy did something, that's how it worked, right?
Yeah.
So they round him up. They take this to trial. You know what I'm saying? The whole town want blood. You know, this is in the South.
Yeah.
Back in the early 1900s, they want to kill this motherfucker because they think he raped the white woman.
Damn.
Anyhow.
You're bloodthirsty, man.
Where is it going?
I think it's to me.
Alright. Anyhow, evidence comes to light that, hey, that guy wasn't even there that night. A lot of people, there's people that corroborate that he was someplace else doing some other thing. And then
Were the witnesses white or black?
The witnesses of all colors.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. So anyhow, and then one witness actually comes forward to say that white guy that pointed the black guy out was actually asking about that black guy a couple of days before. And it's funny because the questions that he asked about the black guy were like, who is he, and like, so where does he work? And also another question that that's, what does he look like? Now, this is a guy that pointed him out. Why was the witness asking someone what this guy looks like?
Dang.
If he saw and witnessed the whole attack.
Exactly. So much shadiness, so much uncertainty, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, basically they convict him guilty, right? But some lawyer decides to steps up and takes the case and says, yo, there's a lot of stuff in this case that just doesn't seem right. I'm gonna try to get this, you know, I'm gonna send this to the higher courts and try to get it retried, right? So he does. He appeals to the higher courts, but while the appeal is going on, they have to hold Ed Johnson in jail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what happens is news starts coming down that looks like the federal whatever part of the federal courts.
The federal government is starting to get involved. Basically, the Supreme Court, Supreme justices are starting to get involved in the case now.
Yeah,
because they're making appeals to try to get him off the death sentence, which was about to happen to him.
And then when word comes down to the town about that, they don't like that.
No.
So lo and behold, this is what happened on the jail this one night. First of all, let's start happening this afternoon. In that afternoon, all of the inmates from the third floor, which was the floor where Ed Johnson was, were all removed to the second floor, except Ed Johnson and one other woman inmate. You know what I'm saying? And then, and that night, when there normally would have been 5, 6, 7 guards on duty, there was one.
Hey, this sounds very deja vu-ish to something that happened recently.
So anyhow, so they show up, so a mob descends upon the jail. A mob looking for Ed Johnson because they want to kill him. They
kill him.
Yeah, they go in there, they break
Let's take note how long this mob it took them to get this man. That's how angry they were. It took them 4 or 5 hours just to bust the bars down that this man was behind.
And this woman who, like, this other woman inmate who was there, you know, like on that same floor, she tried to tell him to stop, but apparently even they were like, "Don't worry, no one's gonna hurt you." You know.
Why they even leave her there?
I guess they forgot about. I don't know. The why she was there is still a mystery, right? Whatever. But no one did anything to her.
And then it wasn't. They weren't separated.
Yeah.
It was men and women.
Yeah. It was different, I guess. But obviously they weren't there for her. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't worried. You know, we don't care about this white woman. We don't care about who points this black guy at Johnson. So even she's, you know, so she saw this. Like I said, it took them 4 or 5 hours. So imagine, bro, you're here in this cell, and there's this mob trying to break in, and these bars are the only thing, and they're whacking away, breaking away at the bars, trying to get these last hinges loose, right? So what this woman inmate reports is that Ed Johnson pretty much accepted his fate. He started praying. He made peace with it. You know, he's like, he was saying his prayers. You know what I'm saying? And then when they finally did break in, they broke in and they dragged his ass all the way back down to the ground floor, and then they probably beat on his ass and all this other stuff. And then they were like, "What do we do?" You know, and apparently someone suggested, "Let's take it to the bridge." To something that everyone cheered. Yeah, let's take it to the bridge. You know what I'm saying? They took him to the bridge. Yeah, they took him to the bridge, and they tied a noose around him, and they hang him. You know, and even to you know, he was asked, "Yeah, but he found a word." You know, he said, "I didn't do it. I'm ready to die, and I accept this, but I did not rape that girl. I do not know this woman." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how they died. So and anyhow, after they hung him, because
it's still in court, right? The case.
The main guy at Supreme Court, his name is Harlan, Judge Harlan, right? Judge Harlan's the guy that has made a decision that we're gonna retry this case, right?
Yeah.
So on the body of Ed Johnson, after they hang him, there is a note pinned to him that said, "Ed Harlan, come get your N-word." Obviously, it didn't say N-word, but that's what it said on this. That's what it said on this fucking note. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Savage. Heathens.
So all of this gets back to Washington. All these events that have gone on, right? The president makes a statement. The vice president makes a statement.
Who's the president?
Who was it? Was it Roosevelt?
No.
Johnson?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Roosevelt.
Yeah, it was Teddy Roosevelt.
It was
Teddy Roosevelt.
It was Teddy Roosevelt. So Teddy Roosevelt, a bunch of other high people up, you know, apparently made a big, this is wrong. What happened there was wrong, So it's looking like, oh shit, hell yeah. So they got the sheriff, you know, that's who was the main person. They're like, "Sheriff, this is, you clearly allowed this to happen. In fact, you're probably involved." And, you know, he denied it, but obviously the truth kind of lied. Everybody involved was guilty, and yeah, what happened to Ed Johnson was a horrible thing, and these people were wrong, and they were convicted. So here's where the outrage starts. It's when,
if it hasn't already started.
Yeah.
That means they broke this dude out of jail and killed him.
So remember, yeah, it turned. He didn't do it, right? We're pretty sure he didn't do it. So when it comes to convict these white men, the judge, you know, the main judge, federal judge, decides, all right, so you sheriff, for having allowed this to happen, for being in on this conspiracy to murder this man in cold blood, and also go against what a federal court had asked. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
60 days in prison. 60 days. Everybody else who was involved in that mob, they got 30 days. And the guy who did everything, who led the mob in the prison, the guy who tied the rope around his neck, the guy who threw him over, you know what I'm saying? This guy, just for identifying everybody else, was not even involved in that 30 days. This guy got off, nothing happened to him. Not even. Now, yeah, as if
he's like the actual killer.
Yes.
He got nothing.
As if this already isn't, like, you know, ridiculous enough. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, shit, but it still happens today, kind of.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. But what this course will, I feel like this course would I feel like young people should watch this course, because
that should just be part of history that they teach at school.
Because it shows you the injustices. Because look, and in another trial, bro, where there were these two white boys who killed this other white boy. These two white boys is ridiculous. They planned this murder against this rich white kid.
This is what you would call premeditated first degree murder.
They planned they planned it out. They wanted to recreate a murder, because whatever. That's just how sadistic these guys were. They kidnapped this kid and they murdered him. You know what I mean? And when it came time to convict them, you know what I'm saying? Their lawyer made just a huge scene. He made a huge dramatic scene just to plead to not give them the death penalty. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what happens is they get life, but one of them gets killed in prison. The other one only serves like 20 years or so, gets released, moves to Europe, becomes a teacher, becomes a successful teacher.
So he had life with parole. Is that what they call it?
That's what you even call it. Remember, he was tried here in America. I don't think there's parole if you leave.
So how did he leave? How did he get out of jail?
They said it was time served.
Yeah. They gave him time served. That was it.
You killed him. Cold, premeditated blood.
So one dude got out, one dude didn't?
No, one dude he died in prison.
The fact that these men got a trial that convicted them, which I would give them death either way. This was a death sentence. It should have been a death sentence.
You think they were connected or just because of racism?
Because of race. Fuck. Nothing to do with fairness. Has everything to do with their race.
I just mean like they're connected, like money wise, but I think race.
Well, the kid they murdered was the kid.
The kid they murdered was.
The kid they murdered was, man. That the lawyer that the rich family got, the murder trial, like that lawyer pretty much pieced that lawyer like, bro, get your dramatic ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? What your boys did is just whack. Your clients are just crazy sadistic people. You know what I'm saying? And they murdered in cold blood. You know because what their lawyer was trying to argue is that they're children, you know, you don't know, like the youth makes it, you know. He's like, look, man, if you want to blame.
How old were they when they did it?
They were probably in their teens. They were in their teens, you know.
No, they're not children. They're teenagers.
Okay.
They're not children. That's crazy. When did that happen?
In the 1930s.
Yeah.
That's when there's like Al Capone and
When Lucky Luciano started coming up.
Machine Gun Kelly.
It's cool.
The real one. That's an interesting time too, bro.
We're also watching this other lecture about like pivotal moments in history, and like they take that moment in history and try to analyze how everyone felt around that time. Like, for example, we just did like the murder of a famous king, right? And how this episode works is that, like, or this lecture, whatever works, is that like what you focus on the murder and focus on what could have caused the murder. What actions did this king do to cause this guy to turn on him and murder him in cold blood in a party in front of everybody?
He basically tries to drop you into the basic center of the whole event and get you the feeling of what happened around the event and what were the people talking about at the event, but also what the king was doing with his own time.
Netflix.
This guy really.
Yeah, and this teacher's good, man. This teacher, he's into it, man. I like him. I like him a lot.
Yeah. But
what's his name?
Oops.
Look, man.
You can put it in the description or something.
Yeah, we'll put it in the description since we're really stoned here.
Hey, wouldn't that be cool if you could get a Great Courses Plus like sponsorship?
Man, all I would probably want, and we'll probably have to talk about this before I even make any agreement, but we just want a free subscription.
What do you mean? Why? You already have, it's only $10 a month.
It's $20 a month.
$20 a month, totally worth it.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't think you need free.
What's half off?
I want some money. Guys, we need new mics. Give me $20.
Ooh, can you imagine like a studio and shit, bro?
See, this is why I can't before. My golden heart would give them too much.
This is why you need sponsors. You need sponsors not to give you free shit. Well, unless they have shit you don't have, but mostly to help to give you money.
But
wouldn't mind like a cannabis.
Wouldn't that be censored that way too? I couldn't be able to talk about certain things.
I don't think we need a cannabis sponsor.
Yeah, you're right.
I think we're
like a box and shit.
Nature box. They have it in Cali. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then we would have like our own office studio, and then like in different rooms, they would have the different podcasts. Like y'all would have your y'all would have your wrestling podcast in one. He could have his high history, and another where he'd be like, I imagine him wearing that.
Hey, you know what would be
with a
cool
cigar.
is if you got an apartment that was like real close to here or under here or like right, you know, and that's how that apartment would be
One studio.
where you live, but also your studio.
Well, the odd pod, I mean, that could still be my house. That could be the studio. It's not that far. I don't want it.
But if you could afford to keep an apartment,
Yeah.
a studio, that'd be pretty
That'd be
pimp,
nice,
you know
yeah.
what I'm
We ain't
saying?
gonna be bothered by
One of the
nobody.
teachers and shit.
Only we know the location.
We need about an extra $1,000 a month to keep an apartment. What?
1,000.
About maybe 12. But yeah, that's about, I mean, one like you live here, you know what I'm saying?
Or I could live
Yeah,
there.
that's how much it is.
But yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, because especially right here, think about it, what's popping up everywhere. All these apartments, these 3-story apartments. You know?
Yeah, but look, if if something happens and goes down or whatever, y'all can come to my house. I got like a little creek back there and stuff. We can hunt the ducks and the geese and stuff like
Man,
that.
we're talking about killing nature.
Man.
If we gotta eat them to survive, bro, that's what we were made to
Are we
do.
gonna be any good at it?
Do you know how to skin a...
I think our instincts would just come out.
It is full.
Maybe
Beast, or
You gotta
Unleash the
learn.
beast
unleash the beast.
to the wild.
It'd take like one day of being hungry, like, oh man, you start turning to
The
Rambo
only
and
thing
shit.
I know how to do is
Sharpening
descale a
knives.
fish.
Descale a fish. I've seen a video of how to deskin a squirrel.
Oh, you saw that video?
Yeah, my dad showed me.
Damn, bro, what the
Kind
fuck?
of savage, you know?
My dad's from Mexico. He said, "Fuck it." He said, "Look, if we ever have to, we get squirrels."
Your dad did it? Was your dad doing
He
it?
didn't do it.
Oh.
No. He just showed us the video.
Ew.
That'd be gangster if he
Poor
did it.
squirrel.
I mean, there's a lot of them.
Ah!
Just rats with a big ass tail, furry tail.
They're
Aren't
just
they a
cute,
rodent?
and they're probably healthier because they
Nah, I think
They
some of them
nuts.
are rabid, bro.
rabid.
Yeah, I think
Like
some
they
of them
have
have
rabies?
rabies.
Like that's foaming at the mouth. I never seen nothing like that, bro. Some
Some of them have
foaming,
diseases.
crazy zombie squirrels. That's on Ninja Turtles. They had some zombie squirrels.
You never know.
I guess that's what they try to say. They try to say coronavirus was from people eating bats or some shit.
Drinking the bat juice.
I'm slipping on.
And
Ozzy Osbourne.
Sipping like some tea.
Just rip off the head and drink the blood like Ozzy.
Ew.
But, nah, but that's just crazy though. All right, what's another case, bro? That
Oh,
sticks out. You
The
got
last
any-
one that we had was the Scottsboro boys.
Yeah, that's like a whole. Yeah, I think a lot of people know about that one. Go ahead, you want to tell that one.
I don't.
Yeah, you don't know.
I mean, maybe if you hear it, say it. I might remember,
Well,
but
this-
then I'll learn it.
It was about these 9 black children. I would say teenagers. No, there was one 12-year-old. I consider that a child, bro. But they were all accused of gang raping.
Two white
Bro, this
These
shit
two
happens,
little
it
white
happens,
girls.
It happens like so often.
And it happened in Alabama. And I think it was in Mobile, Alabama. They accused these 2 little girls went to the police station and accused these nine black children of raping her, and it just turned into a shit show from there. These kids could not get a fair trial anywhere in the state of Alabama, nowhere. Even if they got an acquittal from the state or the federal government, they still had to get a trial somewhere, and nowhere in the South could they get a fair trial.
Right.
So no matter what, all these kids were condemned to death. So they had to all make an agreement, except for maybe 2. 2 got hung. Or 4 got hung and were sentenced to death. After they saw the atrocities, the federal government saw the atrocities, they were able to make plea bargains with all the
Alabama's people.
all the children. And basically got life imprisonment. But that wasn't even any better.
Nah,
Most of
hell
them
no.
came out, you know. I mean, they were eventually released and acquitted from all their charges.
No, they weren't. See, that's the thing. The thing was never overturned. They were set free. Like they got put on a bus from the court but no one. The thing was not overturned. No court would not convict them as guilty.
So they were guilty, but they just didn't go to jail.
In fact, yeah, no, yeah.
Well,
They went to jail.
In fact, every time that somebody would bring evidence to the judge, like, hey man, this is when he would like just, okay, you know what? I don't want you in my court. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
No matter what.
Yeah, just like I was saying, like that Netflix show about the Central Park Fire, those kids. That shit happens too often.
But in this case, it also showed how when the Communist Party in America helped these children, because nobody wanted to help them. Not even the NAACP wanted to help these kids because it was not too bad of PR. Because what if it turned out they did rape this white woman, even though it never happened?
But then they didn't have no DNA testing and shit, right?
No, but one of them did admit that they didn't happen. One of them seriously popped up and admitted that
But one of the
all of it
accusers?
was a lie. Yeah.
That's crazy.
The other sister kept on her lie. The other one came out and admitted that no, it was all a fabricated lie, and they still convicted these kids or teenagers.
And that's how communism kind of started creep in, because look, like he said, nobody wanted to help him, and it's not like communism gave it. Like, you know, communism just kind of wanted to find like a spokesperson, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, people from the communist group would approach the children and say, hey, you know what, help,
Can you remember
like
Jay?
Oh yeah. Jay?
Yeah.
Like the Communist Party would approach him and tell him, hey, you know what, we'll help you out, but just get on our side, you know what I'm saying? We'll give you money, but, you know, help us promote our thing, you know, spread our thing to the black community, you know?
You have to take into consideration for the feel of those boys. I mean, what do? Nobody wants to help me. These people are the only people that seem that they want to help, so why not?
So,
Yeah, when I watched Peaky Blinders, they had a few, seemed like the communists was just trying to help.
But that's the ruse about it.
But I don't,
I don't
really understand any of it.
yeah, because, you know, communism, like I said, doesn't want to help them, it just wants to exploit it, because it just wants to spread their message as far as it can, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And if it can, and it's like, and it tells the black community, hey, look, these capitalists, they don't give a fuck about you. Here's the Communist Party. We'll help you out. We got you back.
And then what are fascists?
The same thing, just in a different name.
Did y'all ever see that show that James Franco was in where he went back in time to save JFK? And they filmed it in Dallas and shit?
Oh, I read that book.
Yeah, we talked about it, right?
I read the book.
11/22. And that's what was the dude who was accused of killing Kennedy or whatever, or saying he killed Kennedy?
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, well, he was going to these places and calling people fascists, and because there was like I don't know, bro.
Yeah, some people think he made a lot of, quote unquote, he made a lot of trips to Russia, and he came in and he was having meetings with Russian, you know, probably, you know, seconds and basically devil agents, so to speak. And it's a lot of shadiness. But
yeah, because I know, and then he said that he don't remember doing it and shit. Like,
he was a
lot of killers.
You gotta think of it how do you remember Timothy McVeigh? You know what I'm saying?
No.
The guy who blew up Oklahoma.
He was the Oklahoma City bomber.
Yeah. He was talking about against technology, right? Was that him?
Well, I don't know what he talked against. I don't think he said anything.
No, he was really like a anarchist. Really, he wanted to change or something like that. I haven't really read more into the conspiracy, but that's the vagueness I get.
It's like all these people used to. I think, like I said, they were. I'm good. What seems to happen is that someone approaches these people and tells them, hey, you know, your government doesn't give a shit about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We got your back. We have the right message. You know what I'm saying? But
we got the power. We got the money.
Well, we have the money, but we're trying to get the power. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's how, you know, so they'll tell you, we'll pay you to you know, this and that, and they make you think you're a part of something. They make you think, but all in all, just a crony.
And that's how it's always been with the Communist Party. When you see it in the rise of Russia during the 1870s when they overthrew the monarchy in 1915.
There was a monarchy? So they had like a king?
In Russia?
Yeah. It was a czar, right?
Yeah, he was a czar. He was the God-appointed king of Russia.
God-appointed. Like the Japanese, they had emperors, I think. Or the Chinese created that emperor.
Yeah, they had emperors.
An empress. It sounds so much cooler than the king and the queen.
Yeah, they call them the Tsar and the Tsariness. For the queen.
I'm kind of getting into that because of the Viking show, because they're talking about the Rus and all that shit. That shit is...
Yeah, there's some savage fools, bro.
Yeah,
there's some... But if you look at it with how they took over Russia, they went for the students first. Because when they tried to go to the peasantry, the peasants weren't buying the shit. They committed to two things: God and their king. That was it. The students that went to
Like
the
the
universities
hippies.
around, yeah, pretty much the young people that were easy to manipulate because they probably were like you were saying, or like you were saying, Timothy very wanted to be accepted by something. You know, bring them in and make them feel like they're accepted. Only they're just gonna use them, huh?
He had a cult.
Well, think about it. Remember all those people who shot up shit recently? When they go to court, you see how they look. They get arrested. They got
drugs,
they got,
like the Batman
yeah,
shooting.
That's how Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, they look the same way. You know, that's how Lee Harvey Oswald. Was.
Like Kanye when
I
they
remember.
came out.
Yeah. They all got the same look. You know what I'm saying?
Nicholas Cruz, the
So to me,
Parkland shooter.
all this just shows that you're like, you know, it's like
You not sparking it?
Wait, put it in your mouth too? Yeah.
Come on, wetting it a little bit for me.
I'll get it ready for you.
Thank you.
But I told you guys.
I don't like foreplay.
Keep going.
I don't know where we, but that's interesting, bro. I want to put this in the universe. If there's like a really never mind.
what the
I was
fuck?
gonna try to holler at an imaginary girl out there
No, don't do
in the
that.
universe.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Cause you gonna hear girls gonna hear your podcast and be like, that's weird. Like you don't know what kind of state I was in at this time of my life.
I was on the Rocket, man. Rocket Power. Jason watch Rocket Power? I used to watch that shit.
Do you see how they're bringing back the '90s shows? Like they're showing like look they're allowing you to
Because
pay money
Nothing's hitting.
to watch it.
All the new cartoons are whack, bro. Nothing's hitting. Nothing's sticking.
Back.
Yeah, they're bringing all the Hey Arnold, the Doug. They got like a whole channel with.
Bro, they have a new Rugrats that they're trying to put out. This shit
A
looks
new
stupid.
Rugrats?
Yeah.
Like a reboot.
Not even.
It looks weird, bro.
Like I wasn't big on the Powerpuff, but I heard that the reboot wasn't that good.
It look whack, bro.
The
It
Ninja
looks
Turtles,
weird.
the one that they have right now, Nickelodeon, is fucking garbage. It's sacrilege. They make
Which one?
They make the rise of the Ninja Turtles because
Not the 2013 version
not the
when they were
2012
like.
version where they were animated CGI.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay,
This is
that
a-
one was pretty dope.
That one was amazing, and I love it. And I just tagged the artist of that Shredder in Hell, and he liked my post on Instagram. It's from South America. Mateus Santoluco. That's what got
How you know he
big.
can understand us?
Huh?
Oh, do they speak English on there? South Africa?
He does.
Oh.
Oh dang, I was talking too much. This thing went out.
You got fire? Here you go. You do what you say.
Five
Anyway.
power. So what were we gonna say?
I forgot. But continue on what you were saying.
I don't even remember. Hey man, I like that. Oh, I thought it said Space Jam, but it says Air Jordan. But in the
It's
Space
like
Jam
the Space
font.
Jam.
Yeah.
You were fooled by the text.
Yeah, my mind played something
Damn.
like the Ghetto Boys. Hey, you know Scarface is trying to run for a
What?
politician, like a mayor or something in Houston, and so was Willie D.
Damn.
And did you know Bushwick Bill died recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like some shit going on between him and the Ghetto Boys. It was kind of weird, bro. I was following all of them on Instagram. That shit was crazy. Did you see that Bone Thugs and Harmony? What they did? They said they're gonna. It was like a joke, but they said they're gonna change their name to Boneless Thugs and Harmony. And it was it ended up coming out later. It was an advertisement for Buffalo wings
Oh god.
for Boneless. And on the commercial, Wishbone was like, yeah, Boneless, and Lazy Bone was like, I think it was Lazy Bone. I mean, I ain't changing shit. And then it was just like, it was badass though. I thought they were doing it because Ivar the Boneless. Like, I was like, alright, fuck it, I'm down with it.
Damn.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Isn't Ivar the boneless the one that couldn't walk?
Yeah.
Is that why they call him the
Well,
boneless, probably?
some say that he couldn't fuck.
That's why they call him the boneless.
Man, that fool couldn't
But
walk.
the one on the Vikings,
That's always been an adjective for fucking even back then, bone.
that's what I don't know. Like when I read about it, like the Saxons, because they would also talk shit. They didn't like the Vikings, so they'd probably say, "Oh, it's probably because he can't fuck." But maybe it was for another reason. Maybe he had like a fucked up leg. Because on the show, he gets like he makes his own little like this metal thing, so he could like, But he's smart as fuck. Super smart. Sons of Ragnar. I feel like in another lifetime I had a bunch of sons like that. It'd be dope, but in this economy, fuck that. It's too tough.
It's too much.
Can't feed all those mouths. I'm gonna have to make a Jackson 5 for myself. Benitez 7. And then just
7 kids, damn fool.
oh, it can't be 5. It has to have to do better. 7's a lucky number, so
You're right. Brady budget.
That's too
the
many.
Benitez 8, baby. Nah, I wouldn't do that to my kids.
Let's see yourself.
Or to myself, yeah. That's or to a chick. Can you imagine having 8 kids? My grandma had 6.
Yeah, my grandma had a ton.
How many
I think my grandma had 7 or 8.
with natural?
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Old school. What about you?
Did your mom have you and your giant brothers naturally?
Giant brother?
Y'all are big. I feel bad for your mom.
Naturally.
Really?
Where do y'all get the bigness from? Your mom or your
No,
dad?
his dad.
Your dad's side is big motherfuckers?
I guess.
Well, your
I
dad's
don't know
tall.
my grandpa. My grandma, I mean, she was average size.
What part of Mexico are
But I
they
mean, he's tall, yeah.
They're from the mountains or something?
What's
from?
that?
what part of Mexico?
Okay.
Mountains from Mexico.
Way above sea
My mom
level.
is from the mountains.
No,
Yeah.
Like the Sierra.
Yeah.
Okay.
That might be what it is, bro.
Harvey and shit. Maybe.
So your brother's big?
All those frijoles.
Your brother's like
Black
tall?
beans.
Your brother's tall like you and shit, big?
Yeah.
He's a big motherfucker.
Damn. You think Edward's gonna get fat eventually and big?
I don't know if he'll get fat. He might get swole eventually.
Yeah, he's getting. I think he's working on his little strength.
Damn, that's what's up.
He has it's in his DNA.
To get big, he's
To
gonna
get
get big the other way though.
Yeah,
He's
swole.
swole.
Yeah.
He's full.
that's what's up.
Yeah, my mom just had 2 and she was done. But my mom's tiny. She's gonna be having no more kids.
So how many kids is your grandma have?
My grandma?
Yeah.
10.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah.
On my mom's side.
Yeah, right.
So all your uncles and aunts are big on that
My
side?
dad's side, including my dad, 3.
That's what's up. Are your aunts and uncles on your mom's side big, like tall and everything?
No, honestly, they're short.
No, it's your dad's side then.
My dad's side.
Are they tall and shit?
That's why my sister's tall, because my dad's side's
Yeah.
kind of tall.
Like his cousins and stuff, yeah.
There you go.
They got some shoulders in there.
There you go.
But honestly, I don't feel like I'm that tall, bro.
I think compared to most
Bro,
like
what's that shoe you wear?
Hispanics.
I don't think it matters on the shoe.
Oh. No, you got them anchors, you know, you got the height to support them, you know what I'm saying, move them around.
I mean, you were good at basketball, like. But you're what? You're 6?
Decent.
You're 6 foot?
I think 6, yeah. 6 or 6'1", maybe.
See, that's tall, bro.
More 6, though.
That's pretty tall.
Most women, when they hear that number, they quiver at the knees.
Yeah,
6. Like, whoa.
you're
For sure.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. They always talk about tall dudes and shit. Well, at least on the internet.
We're at girl meetings or what?
Yeah,
What is it?
Instagram and shit.
they have their girl meetings on Instagram.
Yeah. Sometimes I hack in, pretend I'm a chick, and just listen in. Like right now, we like tall dudes, 6'1", 6'2".
What about the short man? What the fuck?
Dad bods are in right now. So that's pretty cool, especially if you have kids.
Sounds like lazy people that finally
Just
got
trying
their say. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to fuck it.
If you wait long enough, your style will come into style eventually.
It's just that all those CrossFit people pushed it too hard, and now they're all hurt, and they all got dad bods, so now it's gotta be the thing.
Damn, they overdid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CrossFit is not good for you.
What is CrossFit?
CrossFit is a form of exercise where like you go and do a bunch of really dynamic movements like all back to back and but some of the movements are very unsafe and like
Without resting and stretching.
it's not only unsafe as in like unsafe because they're not recommended to do if you're not already in good shape, but like a lot of these moves don't integrate good body movement, so you're basically just waiting to pop something. You know what I'm saying with CrossFit, you know? And I hate to be one of those, but yeah, CrossFit is just not what's up.
Yeah, I know a guy who's done CrossFit for the last 4 years, and he's always getting hurt. He's either fucking up his wrist or he fucked up his knee the last time, and
Well, that's not why I have a dad bod.
he's lost weight, gained weight. He doesn't have a dad bod. He's just fat. I don't mean being mean to him, but just being honest. He just
But I don't really know what a dad bod is, I
The beard belly.
guess. Beer belly, like Homer Simpson and shit. Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
You guys still watch those shows?
Nah, my sense of humor, I guess,
Me neither.
moved moved a different direction, bro. Cause yeah, when I was younger, you could pop those on, I'd laugh my ass off. But
Oh, shit.
I got to a certain age, bro. I think where like I realized like I'll turn it on, I'd be like, you know what I'm saying?
Have you seen the new Rick and Morty season?
I have not.
Me neither. Yeah, you stopped watching it, right?
Yeah.
Like after 2?
Yeah.
Came out with some Pringles 58
Oh my lord.
special edition.
Oh my god.
Man. Now they kind of sold out, right?
Yeah.
What about Steven Universe? That's still going on?
Yeah, Steven Universe keeps it real, but because it keeps it real, it only airs like certain times a year, you know, in certain chunks. But hey, I need to get back on it because yeah, man, Steven Universe is, in my opinion, one of the most wholesome and necessary things every child and adult should be watching.
Whoa, that's deep. You ever seen it?
Yeah.
I've seen a few episodes. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I've seen a few. But they're pretty good.
Yeah. You ever see Clarence?
No.
Yeah. That was like
Don't
real
even bring
dumb.
that fucking
But
shit
it's-
over here.
Have you seen it?
Yeah,
They're like all in the special ed class.
Why don't you
It's
like
not a
it?
special ed class.
Yes, it is, bro.
Is it?
Why
My
don't you
sister
like
told me because she's like if you realize the way she talks to the kids.
Man, this shit looks
Is
weird.
Clarence that big nose kid with the hat?
No.
Sometimes he has a birthday hat.
It looks like a kid with autism.
Well, why don't you like the show?
I just don't like it. This is
Because he used to be in a class like that. No, I'm just
Man.
He was not ready for that. He's always like,
I don't
He'll get
know.
me back on the chess game, man. Or you can get me back on. He can burn me, bro. It's okay. It's all love. If I'm be a comedian, bro, we gotta talk shit about each other. Were you? You weren't, right?
No, man.
in
What the
in the
fuck?
Fed class.
Hey, go ahead, fucking joke. Shut the fuck up.
Damn, bro.
Just say this.
Because otherwise,
Because the
why
more
would
you
get
talk, the more insults you throw.
mad?
just shut your mouth, okay? The more words come out, the more you insult me.
I love you, man.
I know you do, bro.
Nah, I like that class, bro. I mean, the class, the show. Yeah, but I haven't seen it in a while. Oh, you remember Angry Beavers?
Yeah,
I think that's why he did that because he liked the show. Yeah, I don't like it.
What? Yeah.
Angry Beavers.
Angry
No,
Beavers?
fucking Clarence.
On Angry Beavers, they have a secret episode after they got canceled. They come out like it's on YouTube where they talk shit about the producers and shit, bro. They talk shit about the network and stuff.
What was they say?
There's
What
like,
did they
oh,
say?
because they don't want to. I probably could find it, but they were just like, it was real.
You wanna know what was a
Man.
real clever ass cartoon that kept it too real? Now, if you look really back at it, it was that Animaniacs.
Yes.
Yes.
And it wasn't even
Yeah.
anime. It was some of the skits they had, like
Yeah.
the two pigeons that would talk to each other.
The mafia pigeons.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And sometimes they would like, if you really watch it, you kind of get some.
I gotta rewatch.
Yeah, if you watch it, you get some hints into how the entertainment industry really works. You know what I'm saying? And they joke about it.
'Cause they were on the lot. They're on the lot. in the Hollywood lot.
And who wrote these shows back then? People who were involved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I really do.
And in cartoons, they get away with way more than they do on regular shows.
yeah.
Let me talk
It's
about
because of cartoons, bro.
Tiny
People
Toons
don't
was
take it.
fire though, man.
Tiny
Yeah,
Toons
Tiny
was
Toons
shit.
was shit.
Yeah.
I love Little Taz, Little Baby Taz. What is his name?
But you know what was the
Cartoon.
cutest
Oh,
cartoon of all of them?
Baby
Looney Tunes?
Muppets.
Baby Tunes.
Baby Tunes.
What?
Man,
You're
y'all
such
ain't
a
ever watched
baby.
Baby Tunes?
Nah, bro. Look, see.
Ain't that the Muppets? The Baby Muppets?
Look.
Yeah.
This is like if millennials were trying to tell you that like they like the new Fast and the Furious. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck them.
What?
That's
Nah.
hilarious.
See, he's talking about Baby Tunes. I'm talking about Tiny Tunes. You know what I'm saying?
I remember
Nah.
Baby Tunes.
Baby Tunes was like the baby version of all the Cartoon Network.
Yeah, Tiny Tunes is throwed. Baby Tunes is lit. That's how you gotta think about it.
I don't even know
It's
those
a-
terms.
I don't know. You remember Baby Muppets or nah?
I've seen those
Kermit
Baby
and shit?
Muppets. Yes, I've seen them.
Yeah.
Look, he's mad that no one's
So you
ever.
remember
Yeah.
Luca Bros? What was
Who?
that?
Banana.
Luca Brothers Company or
The
something?
Lucas brothers. The
Lucas
Lucas
brothers.
Moving Brothers. That was a classic, bro. They should have kept making that shit.
I don't
And those are
seen them.
comedians. Those are twin comedians.
You didn't like it?
Nah, I never seen it.
Oh, y'all would like it because y'all like wrestling, and on one of the, they like wrestling, and they talk about it.
Damn, maybe I
And they even
did.
have
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah.
characters
Yeah,
on there,
that's
bro.
bad.
I think I need to watch this shit. What's it called?
Lucas Brothers Moving
Look
Company.
this up right
on
now.
Hulu.
What, it was on Hulu?
Ooh.
Is it a new
It was
show?
on Hulu. Maybe it took it out.
I hope it's still on there.
What year was the show from?
2015, 2016.
But that's when it was filmed, so it's modern.
It's modern.
Okay,
Yeah.
like Lucas Brothers.
You like it, bro.
I see what's up.
Yeah, he put me onto it. I was like, damn, I wish there was more episodes. But
Yeah,
it's
me
like
too.
short and sweet.
Yeah, that's it.
Another cartoon I like is Archer.
I never got into Archer.
It was good.
I like Bob's Burgers.
I like the first 5 or 6 seasons of Archer. I mean, that's saying a lot, right?
How many seasons are there?
They're probably on
20?
they're probably on 8 or 9. Right?
They have like they went back in time or some shit, like a
done-
noir
they-
version.
They've done a lot. They're about to do anymore. I think they're about to do like American history one.
What?
Archer.
Are they really?
I think so.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just really high thinking about it.
Boondocks was badass too.
Boondocks, yeah,
Boondocks. That's supposed
That
to
shit
come
is
back, I
right
think.
Boondocks probably wins the award for the realest cartoon of all time.
Man, seriously, bro.
Yeah, that's like history right there.
Boondocks is what is like. See, thinking about it, maybe because I'm high. Boondocks is like a hood, extra hood ass. Hey
South Park.
Arnold.
Oh,
I was thinking.
Hey, South Park did start getting real and
I'm
like.
saying South Park could be like on some real shit
Nah,
too.
but what I'm saying, see, look, I'm thinking Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold was like straight up G in the hood, but Boondocks really talks about shit and how shit is in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Yeah.
South Park started becoming the new Simpsons for a minute because they started predicting shit that would happen.
Did they or did they? I didn't know that. I just thought that they make
South Park
commentary.
would just talk about it like after it happened.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Oh,
And
yeah.
be like really funny about it, or just be
Put it
really
out.
real about it. But I feel like I'm not a huge fan. Maybe it's the animation.
Or what? South Park?
South Park.
I used to like it when I was
But I used to like it a lot more when I was younger. I
I
had like the
haven't-
movie on VHS.
The first one?
Yeah, I watched the first few seasons over and over.
I used to have it.
You like that, don't you, bitch? Remember that part?
Nah.
You know, you remember the part with Saddam Hussein and Satan
And the
foot?
devil? Yeah. I remember that. That was crazy. I was
Man.
a child.
That was
I
the first
was-
time I saw like a wiener on like camera. Like, whoa, why they could put a dick on Deep in the movie? Remember?
I feel like I was already desensitized. I think I had already seen like Showtime porno and shit. But they didn't even show dick on those, right?
Nah,
Hey,
man, nah. Yeah, the HBO porno was just like, no, it was just boobs, and then like they kind of like got on each
Boobs
other's
and
like
butt.
waist, and all you saw was like
The
like,
crotch.
simulation grinding,
Yeah.
right? But
But
they
you didn't see no
there's
insertion.
no penetration, no
Yeah,
penetration. Like, are you fucking her belly button right now, bro? You know?
Like, you didn't even, you couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, these kids don't even know how great they have. We're bad.
Or bad. Think about it. It's like.
What if
it's-
they
it-
run into something like that?
It's like I saw this meme the other day. It's like, I'm an adult and I can eat what I want when I want. Someone take this superpower away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just because you can watch.
I eat way too much pizza.
Just because you can watch all the porn known to man and every genre, every chick right at the palm of your hand, doesn't mean it's necessarily the best.
You know, it's the one thing I think we should have on deck. And see,
Porn?
like, huh?
No, what?
Antiviral software. Just in
For
case.
Coronavirus?
No, dumbass, for fucking viruses. Remember, how many computers have you gone through because you try to download porn or you watch
He's
porn?
off
when
of
you
it.
were
Yeah,
supposed to?
but
No, when you were younger.
He's,
but what?
Why, you trying to look at it on his computer?
Are you trying to look at it on your computer or what?
I'm just saying this as a parent. I think if you have boys, this is probably what's gonna happen if you're not
Oh,
careful.
You should clarify it.
I'm sorry, I should have, but yeah.
You want to hit this? Pass it to him.
Yeah, I talked to my kid about I hope he takes heed and doesn't look into it.
Look, it's just I
Pornography?
feel like it should be like an insurance to have it.
Insurance.
Never know when you
It
need.
sounds like that'll be something in the future.
I would just have something to make sure to let me know what was watched on my computer.
Look, man, I got 3 boys at the house. Bound one of them's gonna be the dumb one.
Yeah, homeboy still smokes. He's gonna like every once in a while because he's on he's on a pension, I guess.
Was he in the war?
Yeah, you talking about the pension.
But he's also on probation, so he can only smoke he only smokes like once every few months, and he gets it from him. But yeah, you see what he's doing? He's just jamming out. That's how.
I ain't watching a movie, bro.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah, something just happened. You hear that? Like a scene change or something.
For real.
Man,
Seen so many movies in my life.
yeah.
So many movies.
Bro, I remember, cause my mom, she loved collecting. Like when DVD players came out, she bought a DVD player, but she got like hooked into buying DVDs. So, bro, my mom to this day, she probably has like about, oh man, I'm gonna say about close to 200, maybe more DVDs. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I would go through her collection when I was like probably 16, 17. I would go through her collection and just throw them random movies on, just to watch, right? And like these movies are cool, don't watch them.
Remember that movie with Brendan Fraser where he meets the devil and the devil's like this hot British chick and he makes all these wishes with the devil?
What happens then?
I don't know, she's really hot. And there was another movie with Brendan Fraser where he goes back in time or something.
I was never a big Brendan Fraser fan.
I don't know, for some reason these movies came
My
out.
aunt loves that motherfucker though, especially from like she watched.
He's gone now. He don't even.
She loves all the Mummy series. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, those are pretty cool. I feel bad for him, kind of. He just dropped off the face of Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, apparently he had issues with that whole, you know how they are.
Hollywood and
yeah,
shit.
all that stuff.
I don't blame him. Shit.
I just want to act. It's like, bro, I just want to act.
Just
Y'all
wanna do
want
my
to do this
job.
other shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's why the dude who did Honey, I Shrunk My Kids, after he did a couple movies, he gets it on Hollywood. But they're supposedly making a new one. He probably ran out of money. They're making a new one. But I'm gonna watch it probably. I like the one where they shrunk themselves.
The parents?
Yeah.
Having that party at the house.
Yeah. There's three of them. They were good movies. The Baby Got Big, that one was cool. And then the one where the kids are in the yard and shit. We went to when I was young. We went to Universal Studios one time. They had like a playground that was for that movie.
Damn, you see everything huge?
Everything was huge.
Damn.
I just remember that.
I remember, I think I did see that too. When I went to Disney.
That's fucking dope.
But yeah, bro. But you know they always got to change it up to like current, so that's not there anymore.
Yeah. I just like to go. They got a Harry Potter one.
They're gonna make a Mario.
They got a lot of Star Wars too.
I heard about that. That Mario's gonna be rare.
Star Wars looks dope. But that Mario one though.
Oh, really?
In the next couple of years, they're gonna come out like a Super Mario World section of it.
That's dope.
You save some money, dog. I'm gonna eat some mushrooms and Mushroom Kingdom. It's Mushroom Kingdom, Super Mario World. Find a princess. Go ham. Maybe get arrested. Nah, I'm just kidding. Cali, bro. I'll go to dispensaries.
Lord, you better have $300 to get your medical card first.
Is it legal in Florida?
It's
No, he's talking about
Cali.
Cali.
Talking about Cali, yeah.
Cali.
You have to get your medical
You don't
card.
have to.
You don't have to?
I thought it's what's the word?
Legalized.
But don't you? But is it only for
Recreational.
But don't you have to live there to get that? Because in Colorado, that's how it was. I had to go to a head shop that was not just medicinal but also recreational. Because there were some that were just medicinal. They only served people who had the IDs and the pass, the $200 pass.
Dang.
I'm
So
saying.
when
Bro.
it's recreational, you could just go in there.
Yeah, if it's recreation, you go in there and the subsidy. But you get taxed out the butthole, bro.
How much per ounce?
Depends on where you're at. Like if you're near the city, you're gonna pay top dollar for that zip. But if I'm talking about like 350, 400. Yeah. But check this out. If you're on the outside, like close, like outside of this, like farther away from the city, like let's say Canyon City, that's pretty far away from the city. I know it's called Kansas, but it's still far away from the city. Okay, I know. But there, a zip a shake, $50.
So it's probably the same like near Los Angeles.
Yeah.
other
If you go
places.
near LA, you probably paying top price, all that shit. Like,
But I mean, if you go farther out, you probably find it a little cheaper.
Yeah.
You probably want to make sure you're getting it from a place that's legit, a bunch of local people, not just because how it is. What happens is all these big corporations are trying to take over there, man.
Bro, I read something that said Monsanto's trying to get into the business.
They're trying to make this whole weed delivery thing into like an Uber thing, and it's silly. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, bro, just.
That would be convenient, bro. Shit. You got this strain, that strain.
Two of this, one of this.
Give me a zip of that right now.
You wouldn't suspect because government bud, big company bud that like it might not be.
Crack.
You know what I'm saying?
Crack.
I wouldn't trust it.
I feel like it would be better.
I wouldn't buy a zip from a cop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna buy any government.
Unless I know that cop since like for 10 years.
I don't trust no cop.
Nah,
anyway,
I'm just
bro.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
You trust a motherfucker that turns that right there.
Nah, you
Yeah,
can't.
exactly, bro. It's like,
What are they gonna get you for? For buying the
oh no, it's just that I don't trust him. He's a shady dude. You know what I'm saying? It's kind
Drop
of
it off in the porch or the
Well,
doorstep.
you know, it's the it's the quality of character. You know, like I wouldn't do business with a dude that cheated on his wife. You know, because if you do that to your wife,
He's old school.
how you gonna do me? You know what I'm saying? I can't do business.
You don't want to make. All right.
Yeah, I can't do business with you, bro. You gonna fuck me over?
There's no way of like rebut. It's like it's weird.
Yeah, you can have the best blood, but man, if I don't like you as a person, I don't trust you, I want to do business, I ain't gonna give you my money. I don't, you know, I don't associate with you, you know.
Same with the store. When people are assholes and shit, you don't go back to the
store. I guess that's how I feel about the big government weed. Like, yeah, this might be convenient. They'll take it right to you. You can pick every strain, but it's big government weed. I don't trust them, man.
Stand for the black market.
Yeah, black market for life.
They could be spraying that hoe or something, man.
That should be our hashtag BM4L. Black market for life.
Baby mamas. Black market for life.
Nah, I think there's two dudes in here that can attest to baby mamas not being worth it.
Yeah, no.
Baby mamas for losers. Oh, no, just kidding. There's something out there. Black market.
Well, there goes that hashtag.
But black market sounds cool. Black market.
It's over. Well,
Beast mode.
Beast mode
For life.
Oh my god.
There's so many.
Oh man.
Banana man.
Oh my god.
You got Black Mama too.
Oh,
Black Mamba for life.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Damn.
And we too though. She got strange.
Yeah.
I'm gonna freeze those tiny little
It's
pieces.
interesting that it came around the same time, bro.
No, but see what happened was, yes, but I was watching this podcast and this comedian was talking about Black Mamba like years ago. So it existed before.
It's almost like he died just the perfect time, bro. That we wouldn't have been shit. Kobe was still alive.
We should have taxed $100, man.
Yeah, bro.
Remember $1 billion.
100 for a quarter.
Probably now it is.
He would smoke this before every game. That's how you try to sell that shit. What are you doing, bro?
What about twerk?
What's going on over there?
Be patient.
There's like you just.
No, put this because it makes it easier to hit.
Oh, okay. Watch. He's gonna.
The scientist.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Bill Nye the science guy.
No, don't call me Bill Nye, that fucking liar.
Liar.
Why
guy.
you don't trust Bill Nye?
I don't trust him no more.
Well, the whole climate change. I mean, I think everybody's that's a whole nother deal, bro.
But the childhood version of him, I trust.
Did y'all ever watch? There was another show that wasn't Bill Nye. It was another scientist show that came on like CBS on Saturday mornings.
Zoom?
Never.
Not Zoom. And he had like a fro, and then there was a dude in a rat suit, and then there was a chick. You saw that shit, bro?
Yeah.
Yo.
It was a different type.
It was a different
type.
type.
Different.
This is bro.
So watch.
Yeah, I've done this before.
Oh, okay.
For those who are listening,
Romo stuck a joint in a bong.
stuck a joint in a bong. Stuck a joint in a bong. Now I'm stuck in a song. And I ain't wrong.
It just brings back memories.
Of what?
Everything brings back memories to Romo.
Yeah.
What does it bring my memories to?
Oh, my old bongs. What I used to do those.
What were you doing? Were you back when you were?
Yeah, I've done that since I first started smoking.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I learned this from you. I really like it.
I was 17. So about since 2013. I remember the year.
2013. Okay, so I was
I remember when I was 17.
I was 15. I was 15. What's 31 minus 15? 16 years.
You mean the other way? Yeah, no, 31 minus 15 is 16.
So 2004 I started?
Nah, 2005.
Yeah.
There you go.
2005, yeah, in high school.
We're the same age, so that's all you have to say.
Yeah, but we didn't start at the same time though.
Of course not.
But yeah.
You took it out.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Damn!
Just a personal preference, bro.
He carefully backed it in to make sure nothing came out.
I mean, you can still hit it like that, but
I just did all that work, Chris. I'm not
I
gonna
know
do
for
it
real. No, fuck in there. I did that in a favor for you.
I appreciate the.
Fuck it.
Don't look like you appreciate it, Chris.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy? That's how people are whenever they get gifts they don't like. I don't like it.
You got the receipt with it?
Yeah. You gotta, can I get
Hey,
the
it's coming a receipt, right?
I just.
Just in case.
Well, it doesn't fit you? I don't like it.
Did you not know what to give me?
Oh shit. You not fucking know me?
Yeah, I know, right.
I sound like some girl said.
Most of the guys be feminine. That's funny.
Feminization of men. What do you think about that? You know, what you gotta say about that?
I think
Frogs turning gay and
man,
shit?
it's women's fault, bro.
You think so?
I'm gonna tell you why, cause they
Feminist agenda?
Nah, because they put up with the fuck boys, and instead of rejecting them and not giving them an ounce of pussy, they
still mate with them.
They condone it. So what do the rest of these men do? Well, if these fuck boys can keep a woman, I can be a fuck boy too. And sure enough, these women keep putting up with these fuck boys. If women raise their standards, men would have to raise their standards.
And that's
too.
why there's a lot of single moms and shit, man. Fucking with these fuck boys. Fucking with these fuck boys.
Yeah, you know they tried it out. They didn't work out, but they ended up with this baby. You know.
But there's always been feminine men.
Oh yeah, but it's ain't about feminine men. It's just about fuck boys, straight fuck boys. You know, like men that just don't know how to be men. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how to talk to women. Don't know how to socialize. You don't know how to. You can't control your emotions. You know what I'm saying? You got no discipline. You know what I'm saying? You know that kind of dude.
You just want to get the big boy.
There you go. There you go, man. Fuck boy.
Yeah.
That's why so many of these women are just lesbians from the get go, man. Some of these women are.
But they be catering to them, bro. They be buying them whatever they want. Shit.
Wait, the fuck boys be buying shit?
Nah, they don't be buying shit.
Lesbian.
Girls.
Women treat women so good.
Women treat women?
You talking about lesbians or straight?
You talking about dykes?
No, I'm talking about women to men.
Oh.
Shit, I didn't know we were talking about dykes.
We could.
I don't know if we want to tread in those waters, man. They get really uptight.
I mean, everybody's cool in my book, so, you know, whatever, but I forgot what we were talking about.
Well, I was gonna say, I think, you know, all the feminine men coming out, all these fuck boys, you know, whatever you wanna call them, bro. Like,
women are letting it happen.
And some of these women are coming out more manly than these dudes now. That's why there's so many lesbians.
Roles are switching.
Yeah, bro. Some of these, I be.
You think it's because of Wonder Woman?
I mean, some of these women are just.
Oh, we're gonna take over. Batman sucks right now. Wonder Woman's awesome.
Could be. You never know.
Right, but you gotta respect the strong woman though, for sure.
Hell yeah.
So they got
the Amazonian.
Yeah,
the Native American, what's it? Aborigines.
The Queens of Africa.
I feel like it should be way later than it is. You see what time it is? 12:72. I feel like it should be way later.
It feels like it, but it's not.
Because we're in a rocket, man. We're still inside the rocket. And the rocket's inside of us.
We're floating through space right now.
Are we being penetrated by the rocket?
It's a turbo mind warp at the same time. We're on a snow-capped mountain.
Time don't exist to us.
Yeah. Time don't exist. Except I got time on the wrist.
What time you say you gonna go in, bro?
I know for real.
You going to work today?
You still going to work?
1:30. Damn.
You still gonna go?
Oh,
Tell me, man. Tell them y'all.
I will tell once it gets here.
Tell them this battery won't start again, y'all.
I don't have to have no excuse.
Yeah, don't put that shit in the universe, bro, because I always do that shit and that shit happens
I
sometimes.
like it so much.
I used to.
I should have used the option there, but I didn't.
My life just involved me though. Like I need to rest my shoulder.
How much time has it been?
Fell
I'm
last
just curious.
night.
You just looked recently.
We're at almost an hour, we're at 58 minutes.
You want to talk about your love life, Ramo?
We want to talk
So
about
the
yours?
so the episode's
I had
over.
zero
Oh
love
no,
life.
goddamn.
All right, boom. There goes the episode, guys. Hey.
Oh!
That was a
But
joke. That was a joke.
And the crowd goes wild.
Except Romo.
So we don't want to call it rap so I can kick both your asses in the chest? Or?
Oh, he wants to play chess.
Chess. Well, we can play chess if that goes to work. When it
Yeah.
goes to work.
Yeah, I feel rude playing chess in front of him like that.
Alright. That's
You
fine.
put something on.
We don't put 'em.
I don't know.
Well, first things first. Are we calling this rap?
I think so.
You got anything you want to talk about on
I
the
got
topics?
nothing left to add.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to say one thing. Did y'all know that? No, never mind. I'll say that for next time. I might get in trouble for saying that.
Next episode.
Yeah, or I might just not ever say it.
All right, cool.
So, all right, guys, that's the episode.
Peace
We'll
out.
talk
Much
to y'all
love.
next time.
Good
See ya.
vibes.
All right, later.
Call the Rocket. Peace.
Yeah.
All right.